Sekiro. Sekiro? Sekiro. Sekiro? Sekiro. Which one do you say? Hi, I'm Blunty. Sekiro. Shadows Die Twice. Sekiro. Sekiro. The ninja one. It is, I'm sure, as most of you know, a game from Software. No, I didn't stutter. They call themselves From Software, so when you say a game is from them, you have to say it's from Software. Then that has always stained my pants. What a douchehead thing to call your company. It's from Software. Stop it! They're, of course, most famous for Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, and Bloodborne. So much so, there's a subgenre of games called Soulsborne games. This subgenre's definition is basically an action RPG whose core gimmick is that they are unforgivably difficult and require quite a lot of grinding and bashing your face against a boss over and over and over and over and over again until you finally get a combination of luck, skill, and paint-by-numbers memory moves to coalesce into a victory, and then you're supposed to feel good about yourself. Sekiro is being called by many their hardest game yet, perhaps even one of the hardest games ever. But, as you can see, I've learned a secret that has made this game really quite easy. I'm awesome at it, look at me go! Now, I have never been interested in the previous Souls games. I play games to be entertained, and to have fun, and to relax, and while I enjoy a challenge to be sure, the Soulsborne difficult for the sake of difficult shtick never really interested me, nor did the clunky, slow combat, nor to mention their nearly entirely brown, murky, hideously muddy, boring, dark, grimy aesthetic. It just looks dull. And before you attack me for that opinion, it is an opinion, we're all entitled to them. If you like that look, then good for you. I don't. That's okay. Sekiro was different though. The first trailers made it look amazing. Remember that E3 reveal? It was colourful, dynamic, optional stealth, and a power fantasy of being a super badass shinobi, creeping across rooftops, swooping down on people, delivering death at the end of my sword. But as is too often the case, those early reveals didn't really reflect the true nature of the gameplay loop, did they? It took me about 5 hours of gameplay to basically give up on Sekiro, and it wasn't because it was too difficult. I was actually doing okay with that, surprisingly enough. I'd smash against the mini or main boss a dozen times before I started to get in the rhythm, and I'd gradually do better and better, and then I'd win, and hooray. And that's what's supposed to happen. That's what a Soulsborne game does. The reason I got fed up with it was how it felt in general. The controls, the responsiveness feel very last generation. It looks like a new game, but it plays like a very, very dated game. And that started to frustrate me. It just wasn't fun to actually play. Like Anthem, for example. Anthem has so many problems, but it is super fun to play. The way it controls, the way you feel as you move through that world, and the combat and everything, it feels ridiculously good. And this is kind of the opposite of that. There have been no controversies about the game itself, but it just doesn't feel good to play. I didn't feel like a shinobi. I felt like a Parkinson's patient on cosplay day. Wolf, the player character, was never quite moving as fluidly or instinctively as I felt he should, and the constant, and by the way, never ever ceasing until the end of the game, and not even then, pop-ups that halted gameplay dead every single time I'd pick up an item to explain said item to me, no matter how many times I've picked up that exact same item before, were infuriating. I get it. I get it. I picked up some more gunpowder. I know what it does. Leave me alone. Let me turn those off. Please, for the love of God, stop interrupting my game to tell me things I already know. The AI at times, which would ignore me completely when I was standing right next to them, and at other times they would detect me in large groups, despite a great distance between us and an entirely blocked sightline. It was just bad AI design, and I'm told this is really quite common in from software games. Their AI is just crap. It's well known, apparently. Also, having to manually hold down a button just to collect coin loot was just annoyingly stupid. Why is that even there? At what point do we not want to collect those coins? Just make it automatic pickup, you numpties. Crap design, annoying design. It's not for any reason. Not for any good reason, at least. And frankly, at times, the game was just being cheap. Not interestingly or well-designed kind of difficult. I enjoy that stuff, but just cheap and lazy. Sadly, as I had played 5 hours of it before it exhausted my patience with it, and the hopes that it would improve deeper in died a sad little pathetic death in a corner somewhere, I was well outside the refund window for Steam. Was never getting my money back for this turd. But seeing as I wasn't getting my money back, I thought I might as well see what the world was and find out how it all unfolded. So I decided to watch some Twitch streams. Unfortunately, watching someone else bash their head against a rock over and over and over and over and over again, hoping to gradually erode it away, was not what I'd call entertaining streaming. At least not what I'd come to see, which was progression in the game. And when it comes to Twitch streams and Soulsborne games, you only get 2 kinds. One, where you just see someone bash their head against a boss for an hour or 2 on end, or you get the speedrunners who skip large chunks of the game. Neither of that was attractive. So, as some of you have surely guessed by now, I did something I've not done in about half a decade with GTA 5. And before that, not since I was a teenager. I cheated! There's a small program called a trainer, which in certain gamer circles is just a euphemism for a cheat engine, something that runs in the background and fiddles with the game code in memory to let you do stuff you're not supposed to do. In this case, the options included infinite health and vulnerability, max guard, immune to all negative effects, and on and on and on it goes, as you can see there in the little screenshot. I activated just a few. Infinite health, max guard, 1-hit posture break, and auto pickup of enemy drops. Automatic pickup of enemy drops. So now I could just explore the game, smash nearly any enemy in a single combo, and I can't be skull humped by the especially cheap bullcrap the game tries every now and again. Although, even with infinite health and max guard and all that sort of stuff, there were still times, the cheapo game, I would just get stun-locked. I couldn't do anything for minutes at a time. And without infinite health, that would just be an insta-death FU. But now I could push through the game nice and relaxed, while also watching some Star Trek. Voyager, if you're curious. I just finished a full series rewatch again. I can see all the game has to offer. Enjoy the pretty damn good level and environment design, actually. Explore. Enjoy the story and lore and see how the game unfolds in the end. And I was disappointed. And I know what you're already saying, predictable as people are in comment sections. Blunty, you ruined it for yourself. You ruined it for yourself. You wrecked it. The point of these games is that they're hard. You have to work to enjoy it. You ruined it by cheating, blah, blah, blah. Frankly, the story isn't worth the trouble of playing this game properly. It's very predictable, highly cliche, and none of the characters are more than one-dimensional, if that. None of them. And the environments are about 50% typical Soulsborne stuff, dirty, dark, brown, muddy, uninteresting gloomfests. Some environments, however, are truly pretty. I wish this game had a photo mode, which it doesn't, or supported NVIDIA Ansel or something, which it doesn't. I very much enjoyed one particular challenge level, though. There was one level I thought, this is super fun. No spoilers, but for those who've played it, one with the cheeky monkeys. If the game had more of that kind of stuff, I would have enjoyed it a lot more, I think. But alas, it never really evolves as a game at all. You take away the grindy by design boss fights, as I did by cheating, and the game is revealed to be only ankle deep. Toe deep, halfway up the toe. It's not compelling in its own right. Not the world building, not the story, not the characters. Much like I suspected of their previous games in the Soulsborne pocket, its only gimmick, the only reason people play, is that it's quite difficult. That's just not interesting enough for me. 6 hours in cheat mode and I'd finished the game, and I doubt I'll ever do so again, with or without cheats, unless they patch in a photo mode or NVIDIA Ansel. Then I'll pop back in for some photo nerd fun times. Or maybe I'll pop back in and try the super speed and super jump cheats to see how broken that makes the game. Might be some fun there, maybe. I wish I'd liked the game. I really did want to like the game. Honestly, I really did. I mean, I spent the money on the damn thing. On paper, it's right up my alley. Action RPG set in Sengoku-era Japan. There's nothing about that sentence I don't love. Oh well. So I didn't get my money's worth from Sekiro. You win some, you lose some. Shrug, moving on. It was interesting to cheat again, though, as far as that goes. I haven't done that for so long. However, it is much more fun causing chaos using God mode in modded GTA 5, though. This game isn't nearly as fun-loving as that game is. Oh, and kids, if you're gonna cheat, only cheat in single-player games. It's just sad, douche-hat, pee-pants little plebs that cheat in multiplayer games. We all know it. Don't do it. Thanks for watching. I am Blunty. And we'll catch you next time. Let the judgment of my cheatiness begin.